Hi guys, this is Pamela and I'm from memphisfoodtrutter.blogspot.com, and I had started my Harry Potter cookbook series, and I'm still doing that series, but I'm also starting this new one called Pamela Fear Not. So basically, there are a bunch of recipes that I see on TV or I've seen videos of online, and I've always been scared to death to do them. They look too complicated. But we're gonna conquer my fears, and today it's going to be a Japanese desserts. Japanese desserts always look very nice and fluffy and intricate, and that's what scares me. They're technical, but we're gonna try and attack this cake called Castella cake, and I'm gonna try and insert a picture of it for you guys to see. If you guys don't see it, that means I failed with my iMovie self-training. But we're going to make this cake, and it's going to be on the stove top, and it's supposed to be this nice, super fluffy and bouncy sponge cake. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with that. So first we need to prepare a pot where our batter is gonna go, and I did that by slathering butter all around the inside of the pot. I cut 2 round circles of parchment paper and then enough strips of paper for the wall. And then basically the butter acted as a glue, and I just stuck my parchment paper around. We'll use the second circle of the parchment towards the end of the cooking time of this video. In a small bowl, mix together 1.5 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 4.5 teaspoons of milk. I used almond milk, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a pinch of salt. I will post on the screen the measurements that the original recipe had, which were in grams. In a large mixing bowl, beat together 4 egg whites. You're going to keep beating until you see bubbles, and that's when you're going to stop and add 1/3 of your sugar amount. So your whole sugar amount should be 1/2 cup of sugar. I personally use monk fruit sugar. After you've beat the first 1/3 amount of sugar for 30 seconds, then go ahead and stop and add the second 1/3 of your total 1/2 cup of sugar and beat for 30 seconds again. When you add your last section or 1/3 of your sugar, you're going to keep beating until they're nice soft peaks. Then you're going to add in some egg yolks, about 5 egg yolks. You're going to use a whisk so you can still keep everything aerated, but you're going to mix the egg yolks into your meringue, and you're going to be really careful not to deflate the meringue. It looks like I'm whisking really fast, but I just fast forwarded this part so that you guys would not get bored with the whisking. Now you're going to add in 2/3 cup of flour. I personally used cake flour because it's already pre-sifted. I don't actually have a sifter, so I went with cake flour and didn't sift. You're gonna again mix and use a whisk again and make sure everything's nice and incorporated. Again, making sure not to deflate anything. You're going to take a little bit of your batter and put it into your bowl that you had at the beginning of the recipe where you had the oil, milk, vanilla, and salt. You're going to mix that together, and then you're going to pour that into the bigger bowl, and then you're going to, of course, mix everything together nice and smooth. Again, it looks like I'm mixing really fast, but you should actually be kind of slow and deliberate to make sure nothing gets deflated. I just, again, fast forwarded through this part of the whisking process. Now it's time to pour the batter into the prepared pots. Remember, it had butter and parchment paper in it. So we're going to pour that in, and then we're going to kind of even the top out. And finally, I'm going to kind of hit it so that the bubbles get out. Now put the pot on the stove on low heat and cover it. You can see that the cake has risen up to the top. Unfortunately, you can see that my cake has fallen down. So I started smelling something, and if you look at the timestamp, that hopefully you can see, it was 35 minutes left to go, and I put the chopstick in and it came out dry. So I went ahead and flipped it out, and yes, it's definitely brown, but we're still gonna cook the other side and see what happens. Wish me luck. Doesn't look very promising right now. Unfortunately, this was a fail. It did rise up all the way pretty much to the top, and then when I decided to be smart about taking away the condensation, I put a cloth around the lid, and maybe that was my downfall. So I'm gonna flip it out, and you get to see why I still fear doing this kind of food. So this is the final product after only about 30 minutes of cooking, and it's definitely deflated. It just looks like a really big omelet, but we're gonna cut into it anyways and see what it looks like inside. We're gonna cut it. All right, so I cut this in half just to see what it looks like inside. I'm still fearful. My fears are quite justified, I believe. This is what it looks like inside. And I'm not even sure if it's quite cooked. It has a strange coloration. So you see the outside, it looks a little different than the inside part. But it is quite jiggly and fluffy. All right, so this was definitely a fail. I'm definitely so scared of Japanese or Asian desserts. Maybe I'll do a video where I try again and try and correct what I think is my mistake, which was putting the towel around the lid. Maybe I left the lid off too long while I was wiping it or putting the towel around it. Who knows? Maybe I'll try again. So better luck next time. And I hope you enjoyed this video, first video of Pamela, Fear Not. Please check out my blog, memphisfoodtrial.blogspot.com. Also check in the description box for my Harry Potter series. And I hope you subscribe. Until next time, fear not, guys. Bye.